Hi BGCB family, it's Alyse from the South Boston Club. I'm here today to celebrate Food Allergy Awareness Week by showing you a few tips and tricks for when you're grocery shopping and might not be able to find the items that you need. So this is for everyone, not just for people with food allergies, because right now it's hard to find some of those groceries that you might need, like eggs and milk. As a food allergy parent myself, I've had a few years under my belt trying to figure out some substitutions for those things that we use every day. My son has a severe egg allergy and a severe dairy allergy, so we don't keep those items in our house anymore. So I'll share just a few things that we use. There's really no good substitution for that delicious like egg sandwich or omelet, but there are things that you could use if you're baking or cooking with eggs or you need some sort of binder. One of my favorite things to use is actually the juice that comes out of chickpeas or garbanzo beans. Sounds kind of gross, but it's called aquafaba. I didn't know that word until a couple years ago. Never heard of it before, but it actually is really good. You just separate the chickpeas and the liquid and you get something that looks kind of like this. It's kind of gross looking, kind of smells a little funny, but it works really well in almost anything that you might need eggs for. You can actually scramble this up if you wanted to. You could also whip it up to make like a meringue, like for egg whites, which seems super weird, but it works really well. Good tip is to put it in the refrigerator before you use it, because then it gets kind of a thicker feel like an egg. But if you just take 3 tablespoons of this juice, you could put it in any recipe. I use it mostly for cookies or for any other kinds of breads, things like that. Could be savory, could be sweet, so it works pretty well. Also, another thing you could use, applesauce, unsweetened applesauce. If you take a half a cup of this, you can put it in any kind of sweet baking that you might have, or in pancakes or waffles or something like that. If you get the individual applesauce cups, it's the perfect amount to replace 1 egg. So there's also that. And then another thing that you might have in your pantry, you might not. I never had it until I found out my son had allergies. Flaxseed, it's really good for fiber and all those healthy things that you might need, but it's also a good egg replacer too. If you take 1 tablespoon of flaxseed and 3 tablespoons of warm water and let it sit for a minute or 2, it kind of gets this thick feeling, and you can put it in any recipe to replace an egg as well. I use that a lot for meatballs or any kind of savory foods that I need to bind up. I put it a lot in like veggie burgers and things like that. So yeah, those are 3 things that are pretty easy to find these days that you might be able to use. Also, for milk. So we haven't had cow's milk in my house in a long time. I've never been a really big fan of cow's milk, but my son can't have it, so we've tried a lot of different types of milk, and our nutritionist told us that oat milk is a really good choice. Kind of related, or kind of has the nutrients that you might get from regular cow's milk. There are tons of plant-based options out there right now, but this one works for our family and it's not too bad. My son drinks this one. This is shelf stable, so you can find it on the shelves and you can buy a whole bunch and keep it in your basement or keep it in your pantry or something like that. I wouldn't recommend this one for cooking unless you're doing something sweet, just because it has a really sweet aftertaste. So we also buy this one, Oatley, which is really good in cooking. I just put it in mashed potatoes the other night and you wouldn't even know the difference. But there are lots of other milks out there that you can try if you're having trouble finding your cow's milk in your local store. So hopefully those tricks are helpful for you. I know that it's been working out for our family really well, and my son doesn't really know that he's missing anything, which is good. But these are good tips hopefully for people with food allergies and for anyone who might want to try something new or can't find what they need. So happy Food Allergy Awareness Week. Rock your teal and take care. Bye.